In 3 generations, you will be forgotten. Your voice will disappear, your dreams will dissolve. But you have a chance to change that. To truly know yourself, to achieve your goals, to leave a mark that will live forever. Why do we care about what happens after us? Why do we want to pass something on? Because we feel the importance of our journey, and we want someone to continue it, so that it continues to exist, so we can be sure that we didn't live this life in vain. Imagine a great-grandchild who can ask a long-deceased great-grandfather for advice. Grandpa, were you able to create a strong, loving family? I want to create one too. What should I pay special attention to when choosing a spouse? And what doesn't matter at all? How did you manage to achieve harmony in your relationship? And get an answer. For the first time, this has become possible. A very important question is, why? If you allow me, I'd like to quote here. Generations pass, taking with them dreams, mistakes, experience, and love. We say enough. Technotheism was created so that we could leave an eternal mark, find our true path, and become stronger, and never be forgotten. And it's not about technology at all, it's about you. So what is Technotheism? It's a philosophical movement that believes technology can make people's lives better. And that's all. For us, technology is not an object of worship. We simply use it skillfully as tools to achieve our own goals. The only thing we ask you to believe in is to believe the best version of yourself right from the start. I want to warn you about what we're going to talk about next. This isn't for everyone. It's not for those who just go with the flow and are always satisfied with everything. This is for reasonable people, not reasonable by education, but in general, for those who truly want to radically change their lives for the better and are ready to take action. That's why only some of you will be able to enjoy phenomenal achievements thanks to what we're offering. And what we're going to talk about is self-discovery, achieving any goals, communities, and legacies, things that each of you can pass on as a significant part of yourselves to your descendants forever. For this presentation, I've prepared a lot of slides. I'll try to keep it within 35 minutes. But believe me, it's going to be fascinating. These days, it's become very popular to visit psychologists. I have nothing against them, it's just they're helpful people, but it's precisely they who have contributed to the terrible trend of blaming everyone around you for your failures and then forgiving them for it. Isn't it wonderful when, for everything you haven't achieved, it's someone else's fault, anyone's but your own? It's the father's fault who was always away at work, or the mother's who raised her voice at you. It's the boss, a coworker, your spouse, your kids, anyone. Yes, anyone but you. Of course, it's possible, and even necessary, to look for reasons, triggers, and other things in the past that are holding you back. But you definitely shouldn't shift responsibility for your life onto anyone else. Psychologists can be understood too. People are more than happy to pay money for someone from the outside to confirm it for them. Yes, it's not my fault. It's all their fault, not you. You're a very good person. Yes, you're actually the victim in this situation. And the saddest part is that this has spread far beyond the psychologist's office. It's becoming a social norm to shift the blame onto others. Even though it's very convenient, that's enough. Take your life into your own hands. Stop forgiving everyone. Only you are responsible for all your failures and successes. And if you're ready to live by your own rules, to take full responsibility for your life, then we'll give you a universal tool for achieving any of your goals easily and as quickly as possible. Even if you don't have any goals yet. I developed this system for myself, and in just over a year, I managed to achieve phenomenal success in all areas of my life. I won't list absolutely everything right now, it would take too much time. That's about 160 goals achieved. Among them are several levels in language learning and a 250% increase in income. Complete order in personal, family, and work matters. I took my health and physical fitness very seriously, gave up social networks and other distractions. I acquired 21 new skills by taking specialized courses and applying what I learned in my daily life and work. And now I'm going to present to you one of the goals I've achieved. It's Technotheism. This is all part of my journey to becoming a better version of myself. 2.0, I invite you to also take every aspect of your life to the next level. I present to you the ME 2.0 system. This is a system of deep self-knowledge and goal achievement. The operating principle of the ME 2.0 system is very simple and clear. There are currently 46 areas of life in the system. They cover everything. Each area is broken down into parameters and has a question. You answer the questions, and you rate yourself from 0 to 10 on how satisfied you are with this particular aspect of your life right now. If you're satisfied at a 10, great, move on to the next question. If your score is less than 10, you need to imagine and describe what this aspect would look like at a 10. Believe me, at that moment, you'll already know the answer. Next, you set a measurable goal for yourself consisting of 1, 2, or 3 points. If that's difficult, artificial intelligence can help you with it. These should be realistic goals that can be achieved within 6 to 18 months. Let me give you an example. You want to learn a new language from scratch. You don't need to set a goal of reaching level C1. Set your goal at level A1 and reach that first. Here's another example. You earn $1,000 a month and want to make $1 million. That's a great goal, but let's approach it step by step. In this case, it would be more appropriate to set your goal at an income of $1,500 to $2,000. And that doesn't mean you won't eventually reach $1 million. You will, as long as you keep moving forward according to the system. Otherwise, if you don't reach your goal, you'll just give up. And that will affect all your other goals as well. Version 2.0 is just the beginning. There's no limit to perfection. Let's get back to the system. You've described what a 10 out of 10 looks like, and you've written down a goal or a couple of goals. After that, your AI coach will help you break the goal down into concrete steps and turn mastering them into a system where every day or once a week you'll need to devote a little time to this specific matter, sometimes just a minute, sometimes about 30 minutes. It all depends on you. So step by step, you'll achieve your goals. This is the simplest and most effective system I've ever seen. Let's break it down. Why do we need goals? Goals set the direction. Without them, you're just doing things chaotically. Good goals motivate you to take action. It's important to identify your true goals and discard everything that doesn't lead to them. This is called focus. Achieving goals is your personal development. You learn something new, apply it, and reach a new level in everything. And most importantly, achieving a goal turns dreams into reality. And here, what could be more appropriate? A quote comes to mind. A dream written down with a date becomes a goal. A goal broken down into steps becomes a plan. And a plan backed by actions makes your dream a reality. I haven't dreamed in a long time. All my dreams have become goals. Goals are your compass. It is your goals that should determine what you should be doing. You need to constantly check whether what you are doing, what you are engaged in, the job you have, or where you work is leading you toward your goals. If not, then you need to let it go. Just please be reasonable. This doesn't mean you should drop everything today, including your only source of income. Of course not. You simply need to gradually and thoughtfully prepare a smooth transition from what currently doesn't effectively lead to your desired goals to what truly does achieve them. Goals are your filter. You can have as many goals as you want. There are absolutely no restrictions. But that doesn't mean you have to pursue them all at once. It's important to identify your top priority, most important goals. Very often, achieving one goal automatically brings you closer to achieving others. You need to stay focused on the main thing and get rid of everything that gets in the way and distracts you. The most important rule in achieving goals is that it's not a sprint but a marathon. Of course, everyone wants to reach their goal in the shortest possible time. That's a natural desire. In such cases, motivation plays a very tricky role. You want to do a lot all at once, but that only works for a very short period of time, after which you give up. What you started. Let me just tell you from my own experience. I decided to learn English. My motivation was through the roof. I decided to study one section a day. The first 2 days, everything was great. I liked everything. Then I skipped a day. But I told myself that tomorrow I would do one extra section. Then I skipped again. And so, 2 months went by without any English at all. Then I came up with the system that worked for me. Every weekday, I learned just 5 new phrases. It's easy and quick. It only takes me 7 minutes. So what is that? 5 phrases? It doesn't seem like much, but over a year, that's 1,400 new phrases. That's a huge amount. And that's the power of discipline. If you want, you take a cold shower. If you don't want to, you still take it. That's already a system. And even the worst system works better than the worst non-system. In the end, all of this becomes a habit and doesn't cause any resistance at all. Imagine your goal is a bottle or a jar. Even if you pour just one drop into it every day, sooner or later it will overflow. Here is the interface of the ME 2.0 system, which is available in 37 languages. I want to warn you that we are currently in beta testing. Now, I'll quickly show you how to interact with this system. Here you see categories that represent different areas of your life: habits, hobbies, family, finances, work, and many others. Each area has its own progress scale. At the very top is your overall progress on the path from your version 1.0 to ME 2.0. Choose any area of life and you'll see a list of parameters. Select any parameter. Here, you need to answer the parameters question. It's very important to answer based on how things are with this parameter right now, not how they were and not how you'd like them to be, but exactly as they are. This is your starting point. You need to answer via chat, either by text or voice, whichever is more convenient for you. Next, you'll be asked to rate your current state on a scale from 0 to 10, where 0 means it couldn't be worse, and 10 means it's perfect and you're completely satisfied. If you answer 10, the system will simply record your response and ask you to move on to the next parameter. But if your rating is below 10, you'll be asked to describe what your ideal state would look like. How do you imagine your personal 10 out of 10? If your vision of a 10 out of 10 would be difficult to achieve within 6 to 18 months, the system will suggest breaking it down into a smaller, more easily attainable intermediate vision, one you can reach with minimal effort. Next, the system will ask you to formulate clear and measurable goals, the achievement of which will bring you closer to a 10 out of 10 state. And believe me, you will know the answers to all these questions. Me 2.0 makes you think about things you would never normally consider. After going through all the questions, I learned 75% about myself that I never knew before. It's a new perspective on the world, a new perspective on yourself. You will feel it too. After setting your goals, I recommend moving on to the next parameter or area. This will allow you to see the whole picture, set a complete list of goals, and only then choose which ones to work on. First and foremost, you can start working toward any goal at any time that is convenient for you. Just write in the chat, "I'm ready to start working on this goal." And your personal AI coach will help you build a system tailored specifically to you for achieving a particular goal. Easy and fast. Thanks to this system, by spending just a few minutes a day, you will achieve specific goals. And for everyday tasks, there's a regular chat with artificial intelligence. And use the chat in each parameter only for working on that specific parameter. This is exactly what the ME 2.0 system enables, a system that fully adapts to you. Everyone has their own starting point and desired outcome, their own goals. No templates, only a personalized approach. As you've already realized, you won't need any technical skills to use the 2.0 systems, right? Everything is intuitively clear. You can simply write to your coach, or you can just talk to them by dictating a message. But let's get back to goals. I want to clearly show you just how important they are. Imagine you're standing in a field. It's dark. You can't see anything at all. Just like right now. Where would you go? There is a place somewhere that you want to be. Let's say it's a green valley with blooming gardens, a beautiful house, abundance, everything is good. But there are other places too. For example, a swamp where you could get stuck for a long time. Or a desert where you might occasionally find an oasis. Or even a cliff. Where should you go? How should you go? by feeling your way? You understand that these were metaphors. A cliff is something that leads to premature death. Crime, illegal substances, an unhealthy lifestyle, and so on. A swamp is where you can get stuck for many years. A job you hate that makes you sick, loans, debts, and so on. Unfortunately, most people are stuck in such a swamp, and sometimes only their ears are sticking out of it. The desert is wandering through life in the hope of finding an oasis, a chance that will change everything. And from time to time, they appear, but then disappear like mirages. I myself spent my entire conscious life in such a desert. Well, as for the Valley of Abundance, I think it's clear to everyone. Everything is really great there, everything is really awesome. So it's the goal that determines the place you want to reach. And the ME 2.0 system is your navigator, helping you build the shortest route and your flashlight, which helps you move forward. But we haven't mentioned one very important detail yet. The starting point. To build any route, you need at least 2 points. The starting point and the destination point. And if we've already decided on the destination point, how do we find the starting point? Without it, there will be millions of different paths and only one that is truly right. The fastest, the most effective. And to find it, you need to understand who you really are. Know yourself. That's your starting point. Understand what you truly want. What do you like and what don't you? What inspires you and what disgusts you? What skills do you have? And here's a very important question. Is it hard to achieve your goals? You need to understand that working on yourself is one of the most difficult tasks in life. I'd be lying if I said it was very easy. No. But with the ME 2.0 system, it will be much easier and faster to accomplish. It's all thanks to a practical and effective system. You'll see for yourself that some goals are quick and some take longer. Some goals you can accomplish in just 15 minutes or in a single day. And there are others that require time. Several months or even a year. There are easy goals and difficult ones. It's exactly the same situation with them. It's very important not to start working on all your goals at once. Prioritize your goals by importance and speed. Take on a few important goals, a few of medium importance, and a few very easy goals. Pick just about 10 of them and focus on those. Once you finish one goal, take on a new one. Don't overload yourself. What matters is the result. Over the long run, that's the only thing that matters. And here's what I mentioned earlier about the million. When you reach ME 2.0, that's when everything really begins. You can keep improving to 3.0, 4.0, 5.0, and so on. There is no limit to perfection. And here you need to understand one very important point. The hardest part will be reaching 2.0 because you start everything from scratch, and after that, you just go over the same areas again. And only a small part of them will you want to strengthen even more. That is, your journey from your current version 1.0 to version 2.0 may take 6 to 18 months. But from version 2.0 to 3.0, it will only take a few months. With each new version of yourself, you will gain an awareness of what you truly want to achieve. And at level 10.0, you will laugh at how modest your desires and goals once were. But you still have to grow to reach that point. And now please, listen to me carefully. I'm not offering you an app but a new way of life, meaningful and exciting. Now let's get to the main point. The ME 2.0 system is the foundation. On this foundation, we are building something grand. But let's take it step by step. Over the years of using the system, we accumulate unique data about you, which we will use to create a digital copy of your consciousness. Your life journey, challenges, achievements, mistakes, and victories, your principles. All of this will be included in your digital copy of consciousness. Of course, we understand that it won't be a 100% copy, but it's the best that is possible at the current stage of technological development. This is not resurrection, not cloning. This is a recording of your thoughts, experiences, and values. Everything that makes you who you are. Then, based on this copy of your consciousness, we will create your virtual avatar with whom you can interact. Even now, it is already possible to create a video avatar. It will look like you and speak with your voice. We, in turn, will fill it with your meaning, your consciousness. Most likely, in the future, there will be even more advanced technologies for this. But that's in the future, and only you decide who will be able to access the digital copy of your consciousness. It could be anyone or no one at all. The decision is entirely up to you. That's why the sooner you start using the ME 2.0 system, the more information about yourself you will be able to preserve for your digital copy of consciousness. The more often you use the system, the more accurate the information will be. That is preserved about you. And the more personalized your AI coach's recommendations will become, because the system studies you and adapts to you, your rhythm, and your priorities. Why is this necessary? Because most likely, like 95% of the world's population, you don't remember your ancestors beyond 3 generations. It's as if they never existed. They lived, they loved, achieved, made mistakes, fell, and got back up. They had invaluable experience that could be useful to you now. But you can't take advantage of it because you don't even know their names. We want to break this chain of oblivion. We want to make sure that from now on, no one is ever forgotten and everyone can pass on their thoughts and meanings, memories and love across dozens of generations. To pass them on to those whose existence you can't even imagine right now. To pass them on through the centuries. To remain in this world forever. Even if only as a digital copy of consciousness. And this copy of consciousness will not stop developing even after you are gone. Copies of your relatives' consciousness will interact with it. If they do so, it will also receive new information, learn to recognize your descendants, know who they are, and communicate with them. For the first time, we can pass on to our descendants not only DNA, but also knowledge, experience, care, and love. This is our concept of digital immortality. All of us will leave sooner or later, but for the first time, we have a chance to remain for those we love. Now I will talk about the procedure for creating digital copies of consciousness. The entire process will proceed in a live queue, which will be influenced in one way or another by the factors I mentioned earlier. These include your registration date, your level, and whether there is already enough information about you. Therefore, everyone will be able to create their own digital copy of consciousness when their time comes. This applies to everyone without exception, but even this is not where we stop. We are aiming to create a truly large community, both online and offline. It's important to note that we do not have identity verification, and it will never be introduced. Of course, we will start with the online community. We will bring everyone together in our Discord. By the way, feel free to join right now. There are already chats in the main languages. If needed, we will add more. There you can communicate with like-minded people, share opinions, goals, and results, and support each other. There are voice rooms, support, different ranks, statuses, and answers to questions. Scan the QR code and join us. Or you can follow the link on the website. As for local offline communities, our goal is to cover almost every country and every major city. Of course, this will happen over time. First, we'll bring you together online, see where most people are, and from there, we'll start building local communities. It's a club of like-minded people working in your city. There, you'll be able to gather, share experiences, communicate, organize events, parties, talks, whatever you like. These communities will be managed by leaders chosen by you. Why are local communities important? Because it's real communication with people united by common interests. Yes, and let's be honest, we've almost stopped interacting with people in person. Everything happens through messengers, emails, social networks, and the phone. The younger generation has almost forgotten how to hang out outside and make new acquaintances, friends, really. And it's not any easier for adults these days either. And this is a great opportunity to make new friends. Another reason is networking, and not just for business. It could be creativity, hobbies, leisure, or personal life. You'll find it interesting to meet like-minded people and go through this journey together. In the future, you might also find a life partner. We are firmly committed to helping create strong families and couples. I won't go into details right now, we'll talk about that later. We don't like it ourselves, but at the moment, we are forced to deny registration to individuals who have not reached the age of majority in your country. This is unfortunate because such children could already become self-aware individuals capable of achieving their goals by the time they reach adulthood. But right now, this would cause a lot of bureaucratic procedures, and we are not ready for that at the moment. However, in the future, we will definitely address this issue and create an adapted version for children. But for now, it is what it is. So, shall we go over your fears and concerns? Yes, I know what you're thinking right now. You think this is too complicated. No, it's easy. Go at your own pace, whatever is comfortable for you. Even if it's just one goal per week or one goal per month. This is your personal business. Do it however you want. You don't have time? What if I told you that you don't have time precisely because you're not managing it correctly? Everyone has 24 hours in a day, but some people manage to do absolutely everything while others get nothing done. You've already tried and failed. So what? You can always try again and again. Everything you can do now most likely didn't work out the first time or turned out very badly. Are you very busy? Of course. But are you really busy with what you actually need? Are you really doing exactly what will lead you to your desired goal, to the lifestyle, to the level you've dreamed of? Not ready for change, but sure that when you are, you'll be able to do something? Life is a very interesting thing. Don't understand technology? You don't need to. Everything is intuitively clear. Does this seem like a cult? It's not a cult. Yes, I know that's the first thing a cult would say, but it's not true. We only ask you to believe in yourself, in the best version of yourself. Are you afraid that artificial intelligence will manipulate you? It's an assistant, a mentor, a coach. It helps you, it doesn't dictate to you. Let's be honest, artificial intelligence already knows more than any human. No scientist knows as much as artificial intelligence does. But in certain specific fields, it still lags behind us. So, if something doesn't suit you, just ask for it to be redone exactly the way you want it. The most interesting thing is that in such moments, you often get an insight about how to do it best. It doesn't always happen, but it does often. The choice is always yours. Are you afraid of wasting your time? Let me tell you this, even the worst result will make you better than you are now. Are you afraid of making a mistake? Don't be afraid, make them. It's all experience. If you make a mistake, it's just experience in how not to do things. That's all there is to it. I've made hundreds, if not thousands of mistakes. It's exactly those mistakes that made me who I am today. No motivation? You won't need it here anyway. It's absolutely normal to have these kinds of questions in your head. Almost everyone thinks that way. It's all because the comfort zone is the biggest deception of humanity. And no, I'm not saying it doesn't exist. In fact, quite the opposite. The comfort zone definitely exists, but it's not comfortable at all. It's a state where your brain sabotages any attempt to do something new. It's a terrible state, and I've been there more than once before. Here's a perfect example of the comfort zone. You continue to live in your own small, confined world and do absolutely nothing to fundamentally change it. But even a truly dumb, unintelligent fish eventually realizes that there are absolutely no promising prospects whatsoever in this stagnant, murky swamp. And it did something truly unnatural. It courageously got out onto the solid land, venturing forth through significant fear and considerable danger, all to ultimately end up precisely where it was always supposed to be, where it genuinely had promising prospects and the opportunity for a truly full and meaningful life. Well, we're not dumber than that fish, are we? This state can have only two reasons. First, you have no goals. And second, your goals seem unattainable. In both cases, we can help you. Register right now. Join our community. All the complete information is available on the website in the documentation section. You can study it at your own pace. It's not necessary to do this before registering. Besides that, I ask you, help us help you. If you have skills and experience that could be useful to our community, and you are willing to share them for free or for a symbolic fee, then offer your help to us. You can do this in the contacts section on the website by filling out the appropriate form. Right now, we need almost everything, and especially what you see on the screen. Perhaps in the future, you will become part of our team. We want every person, regardless of social or financial status, to have the opportunity to change their life and leave a mark in history. That's why everything we do, both now and in the future, will be free of charge. We operate with no subscriptions whatsoever, relying solely on voluntary donations. At the very same time, we genuinely want to encourage and acknowledge those dedicated individuals who consistently support us regularly with their generous contributions. For such people, there will be a separate queue for creating a digital copy of consciousness, parallel to the main one. I believe this will be fair. These people will be able to create their digital copy of consciousness much faster. But there is still a very important point here. To create a digital copy of consciousness, we need data about you. Otherwise, what would we put in there? So whether you donate or not, you'll still have to work on yourself. We are in urgent need of financial support. That's why I'm asking you to support our movement with your donation. We need servers to handle a large number of requests, and that's not a cheap pleasure. Every $10 is a server for a month for 5 users. We need servers, and it's expensive. I understand that not everyone can afford to donate, but if you are someone who can and this idea resonates with you, please contribute to the development of our community. It was fundamentally important for us not to introduce paid subscriptions, so that every inhabitant of our planet would have the opportunity to become better, to preserve themselves, their experience, knowledge, and love for future generations. You can make a donation either on the website or in your personal account by clicking the corresponding donate button. By helping us now, you are helping yourself and your future generations. Let's create something together that will outlive us, our legacy. Your descendants will be grateful. Tell your relatives, friends, and acquaintances about us. You surely know that your environment has a strong influence on you, whether you want it to or not. It's better to walk this path together with those who are dear to you. And here's why. When you become more successful and strive for new achievements, one of two things is likely to happen. Either you'll lose interest in the company of these people, or they'll lose interest in you. That's why you should definitely share this. And one more very important point about your data. We clearly understand that this is a key issue. That's why we never use your data against you. We will never sell your data, and we will never share your data with third parties, including our contractors. You and only you decide who will have access to your information. This could be relatives, heirs, or really any person or even a group of people. You will specify how detailed the access should be, whether it's full access or just general information. You have the right to request complete deletion of your information at any time, and it will be fully erased. For this, we even have a separate procedure which we call oblivion. We understand that information is the most important element in this system. It is securely protected. Technotheism will also evolve along with you, from the current version to version 2.0, 3.0, and so on. At present, the full functionality of the ME 2.0 system has been implemented. Everything else will be added as development progresses. And yes, we will definitely make mistakes. Like everyone else, we are not perfect either. We are only striving for it. And of course, I want to tell you about our small but very close-knit team. It is thanks to them that we were able to create Technotheism. The core team consists of just 6 people. And all of them are top-level specialists, each in their own field. We spent an entire year developing what I've just told you about. No salaries, no sponsors, no investors, no funding of any kind. Only our own efforts. We worked out the concept, came up with more and more new features and areas of application. A bit later, of course, I'll introduce you to our team. I believe we did an excellent job. However, the final word, of course, is yours. Now take a moment to pause. Take a truly deep, calming breath and carefully look all around you. Remember this incredibly significant moment, because this is the precise moment you'll vividly recall every single time you successfully reach a brand new, important goal, every single time you deliberately take a meaningful step toward a wonderfully improved new version of your authentic self. You'll be grateful to yourself for having taken the leap. But if you truly don't take that significant leap of faith, you will still vividly remember this precise moment as your absolute greatest missed opportunity. One way or another, you will remember this moment forever. That I promise you. Because of this, you won't be forgotten, not in 3 generations, not in 10. And what you are able to achieve in life will serve as a benchmark for your descendants. Give them and those around you a reason to be proud of you and your achievements. And most importantly, give yourself that reason. Register right now. We have a very long journey ahead of us together, a journey toward the best version of yourself. It's time to take action. Start by registering.